I have bought a project to do something with. This is a Riello, however you say it. Not waste, that's letting the secrets out. Oil burner for an oil-fired boiler. This is the burning bit that makes the flames. Right, does it say? There's numbers up there. It's a Riello R40 G10X, and it appears to be made in 1997. I have bought this as not working. Well, partially working. In the description, it was from eBay, it said everything else works except the oil pump. Only the most important part. So my question is it the oil pump that's not working? Why is the oil pump not working? And can I fix it, or do I have to buy a new oil pump? Not that the oil pumps are particularly expensive, but let us remove the... I should also say it's heavy, and I don't just mean for a weakling like me, it is actually quite a heavy unit. Right, we don't need that bit, we just need that bit. Right, let us see. So this is the burn tube bit where the fire comes out, and in there, hopefully you can see, there is the air vane guide that creates a sort of swirly vacuum thing to keep the flame burning there. There's the outer ring where most of the air travels past and some through the middle. You've got your two electrodes and your nozzle in the middle, which I believe is a Danfoss. I can't remember which one it said in the listing it is, if it's a 40-degree cone or a hollow cone or whatever it is, but that won't matter. The operation of this is fairly simple. Your diesel or heating oil comes in here. I've just put this hose barb fitting on because I was trying to find what size of fitting that is. Don't ask me what it is because I can't remember now. I think it might be, it's not, is it half inch? Half inch or quarter inch? Maybe quarter inch. Half inch might be too big. Well, maybe the quarter inch one. So diesel in here into the pump, and that is the, or should be, the bleed valve that you undo to let the diesel go in and then fill up the cavity in here and come out here till you bleed it. A bit of Googling revealed that it said these are notoriously difficult to bleed, and that is usually one of the problems. People think the pump has died and actually just won't bleed properly. That is the pressure adjustment valve, which I've also seen a lot of people end up thinking that's the bleed valve. Take that out to bleed it and then put it back in and you've set it at the absolutely wrong pressure. Can't remember what that one's for, and that one is for a feed and return system. We've just got a feed system. There's no return line in this setup. That is the solenoid valve, the fuel solenoid that cuts off fuel, cuts it off to the burning end. It still supplies it. I'm not sure how that works. If it cuts it off going into the pump or cuts it off going out of the pump. But that's by the by. The big bit in the middle here is the motor, and it has a shaft that comes out this way and a shaft that goes that way. One of the shafts spins the oil pump and one of the shafts spins the big centrifugal fan. That is the start capacitor for said fan. That is the ignition unit, the high voltage ignition unit for the burner electrodes. And round here, this is the intake for the blower fan. And this part here is an actuator actuated by the fuel pressure. So when the fuel pump kicks in and builds pressure, it pushes that plunger open and it opens the inlet to the fan to start the burning. So when the fuel pump shuts off, that shuts off and you get no more wind. I've been watching too much Zip Ties and Blast, too much air into the system. So the flame should go out pretty much instantly. And it also prevents, I don't know, if you happen to have a large chimney, you can't get any draw through either. So it cuts off all the air. So, as I say, I have untested it. It's never been, it got as far as my office, and I took this cover off to have a look inside the pump, and that is as far as I got. So, would you like to join me in exploring further into this fuel pump? I'm sure I looked on AliExpress, and I don't think it's a genuine pump. It's a replica. It would do the job. I think it was only like £50 for the pump. Right, I've been in here. That is why these ones are finger tight. I opened this up. So let's take off this cover and get into the interior of the pump. So, what do I know about these kind of oil pumps? Well, not a lot, but I know the basics. I know the basic workings of a gear pump. And here we have a very, very, very dirty screen. It was actually worse than this when I got it and I gave it a little clean. So that's already not a great looking start for bleeding this up and getting it to run. So your fuel would come, I'm sure it comes in here and then fills up through one of these holes. It comes like in through, out into this chamber. It comes and fills up in here, and then it goes into that hole, and that is the intake for the gear pump there. What size do you think these are? Let's see, are they 4? No, that's too big. It's too big. 3mm hex. 3mm hex. So let us look inside the gear pump. Now, in here is a very precisely machined setup. There should be a set of gears, maybe a spacer, but not much else. So there we go. Okay, the spacer's built into the back. So all this is very, very accurately machined. It should all be very nice and flat and no scores or anything. So I don't see anything particularly exciting in there. So what happens? Let's see. Your diesel enters in here, and that chamber's blocked off at the bottom. So it wants to go out. The output is, what, is there 2 holes there? Or is there 1 hole? Let's take that gear out and have a look. Where is a magnet? I saw him a moment ago. Where's my magnetic stick? Let's just take the gear and the spline. Is that a spline shaft? Did I just pull it out of the... Ah, yeah, so, okay. There is a key that drives the pump. That goes into the middle of this gear I'm about to show you. So this is the gear, and there's the slot in the middle, which comes from the driving end of the pump, not the pump, the motor shaft. And there's just one. So that's that hole there is the inlet to the outlet. That's the bit that goes to the nozzle. Motor spins that gear, spins this gear, draws fuel in here, pulls it around, and because of, well, the way the fluid sticks to all the surfaces, it basically creates a seal, and it's got nowhere else to go except down out through that hole. And all these are really still absolutely lovely. There's no... They're tight, and that's what I want. So if I opened this up and this was all scratched and worn and pitted and all sorts of rusty horribleness, I would maybe suspect that the pump had died that way. As we spin on one side, which side is it? This side. That side, oh, you can see a hole through the back. Oil comes in here, and as this spins, the oil is forced through the gear teeth on both of them. It's moved around in the little spaces in there. It gets to here, and because this is full of oil and this has got oil and it's all very close together, it's basically sealed, so it's got nowhere else to go except the outlet, which is that hole. It has to go out of there or explode, basically. Except these do have a pressure release valve. Do they have a pressure valve, which it must bleed it back somewhere. I presume it bleeds it back to the inside chamber. Obviously you can set the pressure, so if the pressure's too high it bleeds it off. It must come back via one of these other holes to fill up that cavity again and just keep that little tank filled. But yeah, right, so all that looks fine. I mean, it's lovely. It's absolutely still beautifully machined. There's a little bit of scoring, but it's not. No, I can't feel it with my nail. So there's nothing untoward in there that I can see. The other thing I did check is that it actually spins. Not by plugging it in, but by, hold that there. This requires more hands, because you need to lift the flap up and then find something to poke in. But yeah, if I spin that, the shaft at this end spins, so both ends are still connected. Also, I spent a lot of time reading about it. Another one is either like the shaft breaks on the mower, so the fan might spin, everything else might work, but that doesn't actually spin. And obviously, with no spinning, there is no pumping. So that spins, and it's making, it looks okay in there. So the only other thing to do is actually plug it in, give it a little bit of diesel. I'll need to find a hose to attach to that, but give it a little bit of fuel, see if it bleeds up, and then turn it on and see if it makes a big fiery mess. Right, I'm gonna put this back together and see about finding some hose, and we'll plug it in and try it. This can only go well. Right, I found a bit of, yes, it's silicone pipe, please don't judge me, it's all I could find that kind of fitted. I have bled it, the diesel poured straight out the vent pipe, which is a good sign, so that's hopefully that. Wait, I need to be in the way of, right, I'll just move you to the other side. Let's see how much of this I'm getting shot. Right, okay, you can see the end of the burn tube, but that's a start. What I'm going to do is take the wire that I've made and plug it in to the socket, turn it on. Now, in theory, this should pump fuel, fire the fan, ignite the igniters, light, and then run for 30 seconds and then go back off again. Because we've got it outside, the photoreceptors that are inside the control unit won't see it go from dark to light. It'll see it go from light to light, and it'll think the fire is either still lit and turns itself off, or anyway, it's a safety thing. We would need to shine a torch at the photoreceptor to get it to stay lit and running, or put it in a pipe where it's dark. Anyway, I digress. Right, I have it wired in and plugged in. There's diesel all over the bench, and okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Nothing. Did I pick a power thing with a dead fuse? One moment, please. Right, that red light on the back that I thought was a light is actually a button, so I'm going to plug it in again and press it and see what happens. Wait, I have plugged in the right. Yes. Well, that was an easy fix. It ran out of diesel. Yeah, so as I was saying, well, I kind of took off, this model or this setup doesn't have a room thermostat. It just turns on and off with the mains power. So when you turn it on, it turns on. There's no thermostat to worry about, and it just turns off when you want it turned off. So there was nothing wrong with it. I can only presume that either that filter in there, the sort of that the round disc that looked black, the black mesh. Wait, this filter, this black mesh here, it's not black. It's supposed to be this plastic colour. This is either so choked they couldn't get it to bleed, or they didn't know how to bleed it and were unsure of how to do it. I don't know. Or they didn't care and just wanted a new thing. But, well, that was an easy fix. I'm not going to bother putting a filter back in there. I'll just make sure there's an inline filter of sorts. But yeah, that works. So, what is my project with the said thing? I'm going to try and burn used oil. I'm going to very carefully say used oil. That might be used vegetable oil, peanut oil, and other sorts of used oil that you're allowed to burn. In other countries, you might be able to burn different kinds of oil, but certainly not here. Nope, no, not here. But yeah, I'm going to say any questions or comments, but I don't know if there's anything I can actually answer about this thing apart from showing bits of it and looking at it. I know there's adjustment screws for adjusting where the burner is and how much air gets in and whatnot, but I don't even know if I need to mess about with any of that. Anyway, questions, comments, anything like that, leave them down below. I will try my very best to answer them, and as always, thanks for watching.